Hey, Frank Mitaritonna here at VuDu Studios. We're going to demo the MESA Boogie 1 collection for AmpliTube 5 from IK Multimedia. Let's take a look at the amps that come inside. Let's take a listen to the dual rec. I love the clarity that comes from Boogies. They don't oversaturate or get tinny. It's real tube gain and a lot of preserved tone from the guitar. Let's play around and see some of the flexibility of the amp. Always responsive. We can try some lead stuff on this. All right, we've got the famous Mark IV, used by guitarists for decades. Even on the lead circuit, you can see there's a lot of flexibility with the push-pull. I prefer the fat setting, kind of opening up the top end of the amp and dialing in the mid-range just enough where it starts to chunk but not woof out. And I'll show you the difference there. You still feel the bottom, but with the fat setting on pull, you can really hear the bottom end tighten up. And again, an amp that responds really well to playing and other additions. You take a pretty famous overdrive and stick it in front of a pretty good sound. Responds very well. Let's see what we can get out of some of the other channel modes inside the triple rec. Obviously, these things do the high gain rectifier sound, but there's a lot of tone flexibility inside these amps if you're willing to dig around. That vintage is definitely a lot more upper harmonic friendly, but you can still dial in a ton of bass and bottom. Cleans up really beautifully, but it still has that air of breakup that makes it really fun to play chordy stuff on. Let's check out some Brit stuff. The TransAtlantic definitely gives you some of that English heritage in the modern amplifier. Really valuable studio amp, studio wattages, 40, 30, 15, that kind of stuff. So it gives you the options to really push the power sections and get power amp saturation in ways that some of the bigger amps make it more difficult. So this became a really popular studio amp. Really beautiful reverb in this amp. I'll go to for a lot of clean tones. Even that one chord that I know sounds great. Let's dive into the Mark III. You can see it's laid out a lot like the Mark IV, but much simpler. Obviously came before. Still has the classic Boogie graphic EQ and the push-pull topology. Let's see what it does. MESA Boogie amps have always been really forward-thinking and always crammed a lot of features into the amps. So a key to a lot of the sounds is knowing the under-the-hood kind of options, the push-pulls, the back panels, the power amp controls. They do a lot of really intelligent things with power amps, power tube combinations, fixed biasing, things like that. Things that make it really easy for you to change the different components of tone that a lot of amplifiers don't really give you the option to do. All right, that's MESA Boogie 1 for AmpliTube. Special thanks to Doug West, everybody at Boogie, for helping develop these tones with IK Multimedia. There's a lot of tonal variety here and certainly something for everybody, so I hope everyone gets to dive in and check these out.